Welcome back, everyone. We're finally at the final game of today. We're actually playing the full 6 games possible, 2 best-of-3s. For those of you who missed the early games, TNC beat Execution 2-1 in Series 1, and just now MVP managed to make a comeback after losing Game 1 against the Mongols, and we're going to Game 3. And this is one of the reasons why Dota should be played as a best-of-3. Had it been a best-of-1, Execration would have come out ahead over TNC, and in this series, Mongols beat the MVP Phoenix with a pretty unconventional draft. So we're gonna go to Game 3, and I expect both teams to go all out here. As if you lose here, there's no losers bracket. You are out of the tournament. So I'm just eager to see what kind of draft they have planned out. I think that so far Mongols have had a pretty crazy run. Their strats are pretty creative, and MVP kind of playing standard MVP Dota. Um, I think they're going to go for a Spectre if it doesn't get banned from the Mongols. So I expect Mongols to address Spectre at least in the second phase. Uh, the Mongols, I think, they have to have some kind of other strat planned out if their main focus to defeat MVP is on a strategic level. So far, execution-wise, I think MVP are, to be honest, a notch above the Mongols. But we're gonna go into the draft right away. The same IO ban from Mongols, as well as the Bounty Hunter. That's to be expected. However, this game, it looks like the Mongols are radiant. Both the games, they were dire. A lot of their strat seemed to revolve around taking Roche, but this game, they won't have as an easy time doing that. MVP Phoenix, though, they don't have their Invoker. Both the games, they chose to go with the Invoker in their first phase. Mongol's gonna snatch that up right away. Not going for that Nature's Prophet as they did in Game 1 and 2.
5 seconds remaining.
Wonder if the MVP are going to go with their classic Phantom Lancer response to the Invoker. I think many of you might remember the Phantom Lancer in the Majors. Taking their time, but they should have a pretty good idea of what they want. Vengeful and Batrider.
Radiant team.
Not Phantom Lancer. I think it's a pretty solid pick, but the Mongols later on, they don't have to pick it now, but they do have an option to go for an Oracle. Whereas before, it was like Vengeful was the only reliable counter to Batrider. Now there is also an Oracle to get rid of that. I guess you can count Abaddon, but again, it's not as reliable. Your Aphotic Shield isn't as high range as the Swap or the False Promise from the Oracle.
Reserve time.
But at the same time, Mongols don't have to really address the lasso. They can just choose to pick a non-Batrider countering, lasso countering lineup and still run over MVP with pure force. Mongols go with the Lion. I don't really think this hero is, it doesn't really tell you too much about the lineup that they want. It's just a solid pick. Perhaps to deny MVP Phoenix of a Lion once again.
10 seconds remaining.
Febby has been playing a very impactful Lion recently. Yes, as we mentioned during the briefing, Spectre is going to be banned out by the Mongols. Even in Game 1, where Mongols actually beat MVP Phoenix in a pretty convincing fashion, MP was able to get that really fast Radiance timing versus a Broodmother lane, and had they not gotten racked so early, they could have taken
5
that game.
seconds remaining.
So the
Reserve
Spectre
time.
is kind of like an all-around deny ban for the Mongols, and PL, knowing that MVP love to run that PL mid versus Invoker, they're gonna get rid of it right away. MVP gonna ban out the Oracle, so it's
Radiant
unlikely we're
team
gonna
pick.
see some kind of Oracle, I mean the lasso counter from the Mongols. With the Doom picked up for MVP on top of the Batrider, I feel like the Mongols have to be kind of
Phoenix's
careful with
turn
their
to pick.
cores, because if there's two heroes that are expert at making a core useless, it's the Batrider and the Doom. Phoenix from the Mongols. Not too
10
sure how to
seconds
feel about
remaining.
this, as it's
5 seconds
pretty
remaining.
good against the Doom and Venge in terms of not being threatened too much by them.
Reserve time.
It's hard to get a Doom onto a good Phoenix player. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is that because MVP picked up both the Batrider and Doom, it looks like there's a high chance that it's an MP Doom in the safe lane. Or sometimes they go aggro with it, but Juggernaut picked for MVP and immediate
Phoenix's
Brood
turn
pickup
to
for the
bat.
Mongols. Again, I think they love doing this. They pick a Phoenix, which is one of the standard offlane heroes. I know it also gets used a lot as a support,
10
but
seconds remaining.
it seems to be a pattern. They pick a lot of heroes that
Radiant
might
team back.
signal to the other team that we have an offlane, but then they pick the Broodmother.
Phoenix's turn to pick.
Unless Broodmother plays against the Batrider, he's looking to have a pretty good game so far. If the Juggernaut is in the safe lane, it's a Doom support. It's the same story as the first game. Venge, Juggernaut by themselves aren't gonna be too effective against the Broodmother. And if it's Juggernaut mid and Venge Doom in the safe lane,
Radiant
the same
team
story.
pick.
Enchantress is gonna be the last pick for MVP Phoenix. So it looks like it will be the core Doom. Most likely a Doom safe lane with an Enchantress being played by Febby, Vengeful by Dubu, Juggernaut mid most likely. The Mongols, they have a
10
carry
seconds
hero
remaining.
left, it seems.
5 seconds remaining.
I think they want to go with DPS right now. They have pretty good control between the
Reserve
Phoenix
time.
and the Lion. The Phoenix being more of a zoning control than a disable. But it's going to be hard for Broodmother and Volker to do all the damage necessary to wipe out MVP. And as we mentioned earlier, Batrider and Doom being pretty effective at, you know, if you have a non-even split of farm between your team where your carry has so much net worth but your other 4 players are kind of meh, then that's so convenient for Doom to just Doom that guy who has by far the most net worth. So I think Mongols are in kind of a tough spot here. They want
Drow
to pick
Ranger.
something. Okay, a Drow Ranger. I sort of like the idea behind Drow Ranger because Drow Ranger will make it so that it makes everyone on your team stronger. But at the same time, he is playing against a Bat Rider. Usually Drow lineups often have a Vengeful Sphere because you want to keep the Drow Ranger alive, but in this game, his team has no save for him. There are so many ways that Drow can die in this game. Bat Rider initiations can't be stopped. Let's say Bat Rider gets a BKB, there's just about nothing that the Mongols can do to help their Drow buddy. Impetuses are going to hurt a lot. It's kind of a funny thing is that Drow is known for her long range, but Enchantress is known for her longer range. So Drow wants to keep the distance, and Enchantress wants just that. Just keep about the 700 range sweet spot, chucking spears at Drow Ranger, regardless of her going BKB. Another standard pause at the beginning of the game. Looks like Dubu is circling. He pinged a hard camp at the top lane. It's potentially non-standard laning setups here, maybe. Forward on the Bat Rider, such a head start. Mongols took a lot of time to shop. I think they were discussing some switch ups in the lanes. The Bat Rider got to the safe lane of Radiant before they even left their base, almost. They're gonna see that, yeah, they're gonna ping that the trees have been cut, so they're like, okay, Bat Rider flew here. They might have some clues as to where Bat Rider landed, but not sure. Yeah, Lion's pinging the right side of the hard camp, but looks like Mongols are potentially going to lose both runes as Invoker makes a late run for the top, which he definitely isn't going to get. And Doom gets the rune over Broodmother. This is not looking to be a good start for the Mongols. They do have a triple ranged hero benefiting from the Drow aura versus the Broodmother, which could mean that they could hex or impale the Bat Rider, then use the dive from Phoenix to slow her as well, then start hitting her with 3 heroes that do about 60 damage early on. Vengeful soloing against the Broodmother as Doom goes eats a creep. Here comes Lion. Not really in a position to fight. The Sunray actually going to do max damage, the full duration damage to the Bat Rider, but this Hellcaster from the Enchantress is being so annoying.
Top tower is under attack.
Kill on the Juggernaut doing pretty well in terms of CS. Kind of like in the Series 1 where we saw T's Juggernaut out CS the Invoker by double. I wonder what they can do from the Mongol's safe lane to get rid of this Enchantress creep. It should expire soon. That's a good thing, but while it was there, it did so much work for the Bat Rider. They are camping the trees right now, sharing EXP. Or maybe not sharing EXP with the Drow Ranger, but still staying level 1 to slow levels, while Batrider gets a good chunk of EXP. And Enchantress helping the mid lane as well, just being so efficient. Doom is actually the top of the CS chart right now, but even he should struggle a bit. Oh, what? Juggernaut making some kind of YOLO play here. Oh, Sunray comes up. However, it's not enough. Oh, first blood goes to MVP. So close, but this level 1 Sunray wasn't enough to actually cancel the bottle charge. And Kyo with their kind of cocky play with the healing ward, trying to get the Phoenix to auto attack it, but pulls it away at the last moment. Thinking about it again though, I think Doom with level 3 and 4 Scorched Earth might be able to deal with the Broodlings to some extent. I think what they're going to do is they're going to carry a dust on the Doom, and every time he sees the Broodmother Spiderling stacked up, he's going to dust it and then use his Scorched Earth to kill the majority of it, as it's almost impossible to perfectly spit 20 Spiderlings. Dubu with a big chunk of gold. We're seeing Boots, Smoke, and Ward, and his stash. Meanwhile, Drow Ranger is having some really good CS, as Batrider eventually did leave his lane. Doom might go down here. Oh no! Broodmother took way too much damage from the minus armor. And if Doom survives here, this is gonna be so frustrating for a Broodmother. No webs. The great escape from Doom.
Attack.
Lion is also not very farmed right now because the majority of the EXP has been given to the Drow, and earlier Batrider at level 1, him getting to the safe lane much faster than Mongolz really paid off quite well, as we can see 2 sentries being spent from the Radiant supports, which is a big investment early on.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
It's Broodmother lane. Not sure how it's going to work out. The main thing about Broodmother in this lineup is that Drow generally wants to win before maybe at latest 40 minutes. He wants to practically secure the win for the team. And so does Broodmother, so they kind of share the same win conditions. Like, they want to get so efficient and out-farm the opponents throughout the mid-game and then end the game. But if you can't, then you have kind of 2 heroes that are bad late game. Drow Ranger and Broodmother, I think, is actually one of the worst late game heroes. Retribution here. At least before he dies, he's going to force out the lasso, and at the same time, Juggernaut falls here. Much needed for the Mongolz, because their game plan has to revolve around the mid game. Getting that Drow farmed, level 11, possibly like a Yasha, then push down towers when you have a Phoenix Egg and your Invoker is at the peak.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Doom here. Yep. We used the dust, but he
Radiant's
wasn't able to
bottom
really
tower has
make the
fallen.
dive to kill off all the
Dire's
spiderlings.
middle tower is under attack.
Like, this is a kind of a really not the start that they were looking in the safe lane for the Mongols. Ideally, when you have Drow Ranger, you want to be the one pushing away the offlane tower for the MVP. So instead of them having their safe lane tower pushed, if they had kept their tier 1 bottom and pushed the dire tier 1, that would have opened up the jungle much better for the Drow Ranger and just all the heroes on the Mongols.
Dire's bottom tower has
But
fallen.
instead, they have to regroup and push the tower.
Is under attack. Radiant's
It's
middle
not
tower
necessarily a
is under
bad
attack.
thing, but they could have
Dire's structures are
secured their
fortified.
jungle better had they been able to keep their tower. Batrider is going to get his blink from now on, and Mongols have to dodge these ganks so well. They don't have a Vengeful Spirit, they don't have an Oracle. I think one of the heroes that are going to feel a lot of pressure from now on is the Broodmother, because the Batrider is going to be so good at killing the Brood. He's going to smoke himself up, which he usually does anyway, and then carry a dust. And as soon as it breaks, a lot of heroes may not be able to kill the Broodmother because he's hiding in the trees, but Batrider is going to Firefly, take that Broodmother away from the trees, and there we go.
Dire's bottom
Doom
tower
thought
is
about
under attack.
going for the Phoenix as well, but it's too far.
Radiant's top tower is under
Juggernaut
attack.
being a very cocky guy. He has the arcane rune, that's why he felt so liberal using his mana. But if both sides
Radiant's
are
top
going to
tower
lose a
is
tier
under
1,
attack.
I think it's
Dire's
better
middle
for
tower
MVP
is under
in
attack.
terms of the trade. The Mongols, ideally, they want to be the ones who have a tower advantage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Hex? No, Hex not necessary. Good call from mine. He knew the
Radiant's
EMP would
top
burn the
tower
Doom's
has
mana.
been denied. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Vengeance Batrider kind of just waiting at mid, seeing if they can actually get the last hit on the tower.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
With the lasso back up though, they should be able to defend this tower at
Dire's top
top.
tower
Doom
under
is going to
attack.
be up in 5 seconds, and they don't have Glyph though. I suppose that is the main concern.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
They are smoked up, but they have to realize that they are 3, not... Phoenix does not have egg though. Oh, Vengeful, the great sacrifice. Phoenix? Oh, Phoenix, he wasn't able to get the fire spirits out before he died. Used the egg, I mean. Sake here should be fine, simply because he is so fast. But I am very surprised that MVP were able to come out ahead in that team fight. Just because they were outnumbered, the tower fell before Doom was able to TP in. But Phoenix not having egg, probably the biggest. He got the egg as the fight was going on.
Illusion.
with the towers being mowed down, the tier 1 towers, the only tier 1 is for the dire mid, but they should be, both teams should be thinking about Roshan right now. I think because Drow, a lot of her strength comes from the mid game timing. She sort of needs Aegis to make a realistic attempt at high ground, and here we see Bat Rider just being a great counter to the Broodmother. Q on this Juggernaut doesn't really seem to have any real items other than the drum. His team is doing well without. I mean, the Juggernaut is being very participative, but he is a mid Juggernaut that focus more on utility, or rather space creation, than the Battle Fury kind of Juggernaut. So that is to be expected. And with this, Mongolz will even out the towers. 3 towers for 3. And I still think MVP have an edge in terms of Roche control, because Broodmother is going to be stuck in the top lane, and they have a Bat Rider. And they're generally a bit stronger than the Mongolz right now.
Invisibility.
They should slowly start moving towards the Roche, but perhaps looking for a pickoff. It is the final game of the series, so trying to sneak a Roche and then getting contested and that turning into disaster will be a frightening thought. Oh, dude.
Dire's middle tower is under
Just
attack.
pressuring dust. It actually forces 2 TP movements, and like the entirety of Mongolz actually going there. And look at MVP, they're just pinging Roche. Not sure how they were so certain that the other heroes would TP in, but
Dire's top tower is under attack.
yeah, easy Roche for MVP. Not going to get contested at all. And they may be in time to defend their tier 2. I'm not seeing how much damage the tower is taking, but
Dire's structures are
yeah, it looks like it's doable. They can TP in and save this tower. Doom actually with the speed creep. This is pretty good with the Juggernaut, Enchantress, and the Bat Rider. Oh, I think the smoke got spotted out. Never mind. I was pretty sure that Lion warded there by the river earlier. Juggernaut used his Omni Slash.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be in a defending position when you run Drow lineups. What's happening on the map right now, it has to be reversed. Like, the Drow side wants to be at the tier 2 early in the game, forcing rotations to defend, but still taking the tower anyway because you do so much damage. Soon the Bat Rider will get a gem. Either he'll purchase it or his supports will spend their gold to allow the Bat Rider to get a gem, and that is going to put a lot of pressure onto the Mongolz, but they are smoking so that they can prevent that kind of a snowball from happening. They already lost the Aegis. They need the map control if they want to stay in this game. Oh, the tornado misses though. Blade Mill activated for Doom. Not really gonna do too much as he was taking damage from 5 heroes. Aegis is expended. Nice silence from Retribution. And a nice swap from Vengeful. Looks like both sides call it quits. Batrider didn't have enough mana to cast Lasso, it seems. Otherwise, he would have chased further. Juggernaut? Killing off that healing ward there, but overall, the exchange was okay for the Mongols. They got rid of the Aegis, but again, they are not making progress in terms of objectives. They haven't gained more map control because of that engagement. They took some initiative, but nice silence, 3-man silence here. A 2-man impale too. MP Doom sort of in some trouble. But Batrider right now does have the lasso. I think he's gonna cliff someone. He may not have Firefly right now. But that was definitely a big win for the Mongols. They killed the Juggernaut and the Venge. They could have almost killed the Doom as well, but still not enough to go for the tier 2 top, which would help Broodmother just give them so much more information because he can spread webs to the inner dire jungle area. Like Dubu going for arcane boots into mech, potentially. Considering the previous games, game 1 and 2 of this series, this game is at a slightly lower pace, 20 minutes, and all the tier 2s are still standing. Whereas in the previous game, we were seeing Raxes being destroyed at like 17 minutes, 15 minutes. Juggernaut is going to be YOLO. Batrider has to be careful. Batrider is a gem carrier right now. His blink should be on cooldown. Oh, nice EMP. It hits. EMP silence hits 2 people. Phoenix is doomed, but he does get the egg off. And Debu does get cleaned up. Try to kill the egg for his team, knowing that there was a good chance that he would die. And meanwhile, Broodmother getting some good pressure onto this tier 2 top.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tower will fall. It's a matter of Kyo actually denying the tower. Looks like Batrider's on the hunt for Broodmother with his gem. He doesn't have lasso quite yet. But by the time he reaches Broodmother, he should have it. Broodmother kind of scouting with this bone spiderling. Oh, the orchid. But he's too elusive. He ended up not even needing the lasso. So Broodmother has the medallion, but this is not the dire Broodmother that could easily just walk over the jungle and contribute to getting Roche for his team. It's a Radiant Broodmother who's committed a lot of webs to the dire jungle. Looks like Lion is in some big trouble here as one by one, Mongols are starting to lose their heroes, and Kyo's being very aggressive with items that don't actually contest Ancients very well. Slowly, MVP are taking away the vision from the Mongols. The Mongols have to push out the waves, but Broodmother and Jaw Ranger are not the most efficient heroes to do that. Oh, nice Orchid precast from Broodmother. They know that if they kill that Batrider, they will get so much value out of it. They will steal the gem, and Batrider is, if I recall, has a streak right now, so he's gonna give a good chunk of gold.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Lotus Orb, the pickup for Doom. Cold Snap going to be used, reflected back to the Invoker. Doom does not have enough mana to cast Doom, so this fight might be the fight that they were looking for on the Mongols. There is no Batrider, even the Batrider should have a Boots of Travel. Yeah, he is Boots of Traveling in, but no Doom, which is going to be huge. It almost guarantees that Phoenix can get an egg off, as their only reliable lockdown for the Phoenix is the Doom and the Lasso, but I don't think the Batrider will be here fast enough. Even Broodmother is rushing to join his team at bottom. If only the Mongols right now could finish off the Doom, get a good Phoenix egg, and I think they have a pretty good shot at winning this team fight. Oh, they actually get the lasso onto the Phoenix. Oh, Broodmother. Phoenix bought back, but no. That is a dieback from Phoenix, and Broodmother, one of the most useless heroes when he's not in a lane with webs pressuring.
Forget this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I think there's a good chance that MVP get a Rax here, or maybe not the Rax, tier 3, and then they can regroup and just go straight to Roche.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Mongols also have to they have to try to get something here, but Doom does have Doom now.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Blade Mail, Lotus Orb. Juggernaut? Oh my god, Juggernaut survives with so little HP. And this Phoenix might be in a lot of trouble as well. And the Batrider gets a regen rune. It is a team wipe for MVP. I think right now they're thinking they could go bottom because it's a naked Rax, but they don't have the most time versus Mongolz. They have maybe 15 seconds before they have to deal with invoker spam, and they're gonna go with the safer choice. They've won most of the team fights until now. They might as well go for the Roche, which Mongolz will not be able to contest, as they'll have to walk like 5,000 units to actually get to the Roche pit without any nearby towers. Easy Roche into... They have all their cooldowns. They could just go straight at bottom again. Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the Mongolz lineup, they do not want to be doing this. The Broodmother is not a hero. You want to be roaming around close to your base. You want to be on the opponent jungle side, making them have to deal with you because you are hitting towers, pressuring tier 3s, possibly Rax later on.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Some nice EMP harass going to come out. However, Doom did go for the Vlad's Lotus Sword, which means he has considerably high. He has 9.5 mana regen, meaning the EMP isn't going to matter too much. He has a Shiva Scar on top of it. And Broodmother gonna be killed off without really committing anything on top of the lasso.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Batrider just gonna go. Oh, nice Lotus Sword. I feel like this should be GG. Yeah. Mongolz realize they are going to get Raxed here, and even without getting Raxed, the lineups, the way they matched up, they were going to have a hard time anyway. Alright guys, that concludes our day one of the quarterfinals of the WCA 2016 Asian Pacific. Execration lose 1-2 to TNC, rather TNC advance to the next round, and MVP win 2-1 against Team Mongolz. And I think Mongolz put up a really great effort. I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking MVP Phoenix were considered the favorites. In game one, they surprised me a lot with their... It was a nice draft in terms of strategy as well as execution. So, yep, here to recap what happened today. Execration won the first game, then lost 2 to TNC afterwards. And afterwards, we just had the Mongolz versus MVP Phoenix match, where the same thing happened. Mongolz upset MVP Phoenix on game 1 and lost the remaining 2 games to MVP Phoenix. So it will be TNC, DOTA, and MVP Phoenix advancing to the next round. And on Friday, 3 days from now, we will have the other side of the bracket be played out. To be Signature Trust and Mineski, and Orange Tearing versus Warriors Gaming Unity. Signature Trust, Mineski, both very well-known teams. It will be a match between the Thais and the Filipinos. And for match 4, we'll have an in-house basically between the 2 Malaysian teams, Orange Tearing and Warriors Gaming Unity. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the games today as I did. I did not expect these games to be so, how should I say it? Like, I saw a lot of strategy in game one. For those of you who miss it, Execution used a Meepo strat. They last pick Meepo. Um, TNC did have first pick, so they had one hero to respond to the Meepo, but they went for a Nyx Assassin, and the other heroes were kind of not very good against Meepo. But I hope you guys enjoy the game and tune in next time for the other bracket matches. Thank you.
It ain't the far cry that it seemed in just a way.